listening or watching, stop it. Whatever you're doing, you can stop it and listen, watch, whatever the hell you're doing. I don't care. But thank you for joining us. I am here with my guest this evening, Stetson Banks. Stetson, please tell us who you are and why people should care.
Well, I'm not going to force anybody to care. I'll tell them who I am, and then they can decide if they want to care.
I think that's good enough.
Okay. So I'm Stetson Banks. I'm a comedian out of Fayetteville, Arkansas. I'm in town doing the wonderful show tonight at Tiny House Bar in Omaha, Nebraska here. Mm-hmm. It's my second time headlining this show, and it was an absolute blast last time, so I'm excited to be back. Outside of that, I'm just on the road every now and then, and I do some woodworking. I eat a lot of omelets.
That's nice. Omelet money in this day and age.
Yeah, it's actually been a pretty rough few months. So appreciate your concern.
And you run a bunch. You do a bunch of stuff down there.
I do. So I co-produce with Steph Bright. We run Black Apple Comedy Night in Springdale, Arkansas, every Thursday night. So she's running solo tonight because I'm here.
One of my favorite rooms in the country, by the way.
Yeah, it's we've been doing it since 2017, so it's been around for a little while. It's always a really fun show, so we're real proud of it. And then we also run the Don't Tell Comedy in Northwest Arkansas, and I also help run an open mic on Wednesday nights. So stay pretty busy with all that, but still try to get out and be a comedian myself on the road. So
great. Well, if you're in Northwest Arkansas, check out the stuff.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the bucket, Stetson?
Let's do it, man.
All right. Well, we got a bunch
so excited about the bucket.
Yeah, I know. It's full of questions.
Anytime there's a bucket involved, I'm excited.
I know. I just added 80 today.
80 questions.
80 good ones.
We're going to do them all, right?
Yeah. Well, this is an important one. Yeah, we're going to be here for a while. I'm going to cancel Tiny House. This is an important record question. What is the best Metallica record?
I mean, you didn't catch me lying. I know I should be more into Metallica.
Uh-huh.
Do you ever half-ass boycott something just to make people mad?
No.
See, that's a thing I like to do.
Yeah.
Growing up, I hated I hated the Sonic commercials. You remember the two white dudes that would just set Sonic in the commercials? And it's like the most benign conversations, and I hated them. And one time we were at Sonic, and I was talking about how much I hated them. And, I was with several of my friends, and one of them was like, every time you buy Sonic, you're supporting that commercial. And I was like, you're right. I'm never going to eat at Sonic again.
I missed out.
I boycotted Sonic for 15 years. Made everybody so mad. Because we'd go somewhere, and everybody's like, let's go to Sonic. I'm like, all right, but you got to take me to Taco Bell afterwards. So I kind of did the same thing with Metallica.
Because of the Napster stuff?
No, because there was this guy I didn't like in high school.
Uh-huh.
And we always kind of had issues with each other. And both of us played football. Neither of us played basketball, so we were always in weightlifting in the off season.
Uh-huh.
And everybody got to pick different music different days. So he'd always play Metallica.
Sure.
And I got so burned out on it that I just really didn't like him. And so I'm not a huge Metallica guy. I've learned to respect him over the years.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing to do though was do you remember Kid Rock had a song where he used the Metallica music and then
I don't.
You don't? Yeah. I can't remember which song it is, but my favorite thing to do, Kid Rock's version of it, they'd play the Metallica, dun, 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 dun. And Kid Rock would go, Are you scared? And so every time they would play the actual Metallica song at weightlifting, when they get to that part, I'd go, Are you scared? And I'd just watch them just get so mad.
I would be too, yeah. Because I think that's a good Metallica song. I don't know what that's off of. Yeah. Maybe it's Injustice for All.
Yeah, but that's... Yeah, Master of Puppets, that would be my favorite era of them. So
that is the right answer.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets is the right answer.
Despite me saying how much I do love buckets, I didn't enjoy the sound of drumming on buckets.
For Saint Anger?
Mm-hmm. Yes, so.
Yeah, well, I think everything after the Black Album is not really worth listening to.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But before the Black Album, they're the Weezer of metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have Weezer has the Blue Album and Pinkerton and everything after Pinkerton you shouldn't really listen to.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing.
You've picked out like the two bands I had like issues with.
Really?
Weezer, I like the Weezer too, but like I read an interview in like Guitar World one time with Rivers Cuomo, and he was just the most pompous asshole, and I was just like, I can't.
I get
listen to him anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's two albums, and I've listened to them I listened to them to death because I listened to the Blue Album and Pinkerton when they came out.
Yeah.
Because I'm an old man.
Yes.
And so, like, I've over Weezered myself, and I'm tired of those two albums. But you know that those two albums are the only good ones, in my opinion. If you have problems, try Catching Me.
Yeah.
You know?
I've come around on him. I'd say I've Weezered myself just right.
Yeah,
I'm just correctly Weezered.
You've been okay. Right amount of Weezer. Okay, I need to be Weezered less. I'm tired of it. I mean, I still think the Blue Album has like some good records. I don't know. Yeah. And they don't age very well too.
Okay.
There's some lyrics that don't age very well on Pinkerton.
Yeah, he really came across as a real not cool person in that interview. So it doesn't surprise me.
Oh, I get it. All right, stop it. We're going to move on from the Weezer and the Metallica to lesser known bands to people who have never seen anything before. All right. Okay. Interesting question. Say you have unlimited money. What does your backyard look like?
It's going to have a huge wood shop in it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really care about the yard or the vegetation or anything.
No pool?
I mean, yeah, obviously you'd have a pool. If money's no object and a nice place, gather around and stuff, a little fire pit and everything. But for me, like the ultimate would be have a huge wood shop out back. Just be able to go out, just work on woodworking projects anytime.
What do you make? You make a bunch of tables?
I've not made any tables. I've made like a entertainment center desk, entry cabinet buffet thing,
nice.
So stuff like that, and just stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. If you had to choose, I've been to your place, so I know what your backyard looks like currently.
Yes.
But like, if you had to choose between like a really nice pool and like with a lot of concrete and sort of an urban backyard, or more of like a lake, rural backyard?
I think rural lake. The more I'm thinking about pool, like I guess if I had endless money, I could just pay somebody to like take care of it. But like, I honestly, like if somebody's just like, I will come give you a free pool, I don't know if I would take it just because of the upkeep.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want a pool. Like even if I had the money, I'd rather have a lake.
Yeah.
If I was a share a lake, not own a whole lake.
Yeah. And then the other problem with pools is like, then people want to come over to your house.
Right.
And then you have to be around people. And that's
you have
a bit of an issue.
Oh, so happy you came over to use my pool. Yeah, I get it. What are we missing? You have a fire pit?
Yeah, I said a fire pit.
Okay.
That would be the one thing I'd want because I like to be out in the fall and the winter and stuff. So.
And if you have a wood shop, you need a fire pit to get rid of all the scraps.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Am I missing anything? A koi pond?
Maybe.
All right.
So I just heard somebody on a podcast about having a koi pond, and every time they'd come home, there'd be like a koi out because like a hawk kept coming like grabbing them, but then they couldn't carry them off all the way. And they would just like drop them, and then the kois would just flop and die.
At that point, you just have a bird feeder.
Yeah.
But it's a large bird.
Yeah. So
All right.
I don't know about koi's. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see the point. It just seems like another thing to disappoint,
Yeah.
Just another thing to leave behind. All right. What is something you know a lot about, but never seem to have the opportunity to talk about?
Oklahoma City Thunder basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
Man, I mean, I've been watching every game since like 2011. I mean, they got the team like 2009. I started getting into it 2011. For the last 10 years, I've watched every game. And none of my friends are into basketball.
I know the feeling.
Yeah. So I have a lot of parasocial relationships with podcasters who talk, like NBA podcasts.
Right.
And I listen to them, and essentially they're my best friends, but they don't know I exist. So
yeah. I got some Seattle podcasters about the Seahawks.
I listen to a lot of podcasts. Like I said, I very, very rarely. Like my only friend who's somewhat into basketball is a fan of the Bulls. So right now he just thinks that basketball sucks because the Bulls suck.
I get that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I know everything there is to know about them. So,
What's your favorite Thunder player of all time? Is it Durant?
no, of all time would be Russell Westbrook. Durant
Okay.
would be way, way, way down.
No?
Bad circumstances.
Oh, it was the exit
leading part. Yes.
Okay, I get that. Yeah, Russell Wilson lost a lot of favor for the Seahawks. Very similar circumstances. Yeah. Okay, can you believe they didn't win a championship with Westbrook, Durant, Harden all on the same team?
Yeah, I can believe it because I watched it happen.
Fair enough.
It's all Patrick Beverley's fault.
Really?
Yes. So we were like on our way in the playoffs to winning. Our best shot ever, and like in the first or second round, after like they called a timeout, blew the whistle, like he tried to make like come in and like steal the ball, just being a dumbass, and like kneed Russell Westbrook in the knee and like ripped his meniscus, and then he was out for the season. And then the next year Durant was hurt, and it was just like injuries every year after that. So,
okay, if you had one thing to tell everyone about Oklahoma Thunder basketball that we should all know and carry with us every single day, what would you tell us?
Just get on board right now, because like they're so dominant. They're like the youngest team to get to 60 wins. They just got to 60 wins.
Okay.
And hopefully, no injuries this time. We will get that cherished prize at the end this time. And so if people want on the bandwagon, now's the time to do it.
They're on the ascend.
Very
so
much.
So watch out for the.
Yes.
Okay. I don't watch basketball, but I believe you.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I got to talk to you about it, even though you didn't know anything about it.
I don't know.
So literally, like I said, this is the question. So I never run into anybody that wants to talk about it.
I got tons of those things.
Yeah.
And you need an opportunity. You have to get the green flag, and that's exactly what we did. Now we know more. Our lives are richer for knowing about the Oklahoma City Thunder basketball team.
Correct.
All right. You hear about these Pokemon?
I haven't.
No.
Actually, the only experience I have with Pokemon is the basketball podcast I listen to. They were really into Pokemon growing up, so they talk about them all the time.
Really?
And then I'm kind of like skip forward a little bit because
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I grew up you grew up on a farm, right?
Yeah.
So I grew up on a farm too, but I'm finding I'm more my childhood and everything would probably be closer to an Amish person than like somebody from the city. Like,
Oh, sure.
I'm not saying I was Amish.
Yeah.
I know I look like it. But like as far as if you had a scale from Amish to like city, I was closer to this side. And so like we didn't have satellite till I was like 15. So everybody's always talking about like Nickelodeon shows and stuff. And I'm like, I didn't experience any of those. And so, there's a lot of stuff that I missed growing up.
I'd love to see some Amish Pokemon. Yeah, they just, they'd evolve and just their beard would grow larger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they'd raise a barn. I was a little too old for Pokemon.
Okay.
Because it came out when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I would skip school. And it would be on, and I'd be like, "What the hell is this Pokemon?" And I'd watch it, and I'd be like, "I don't get this crap."
Yeah,
and then I'd move on. But
I was watching Popeye growing up, so that was what was on our broadcast
right
when I got home from school.
Oh, do you know what a CED is? Mm-mm. It's like a record. It looks like a record. Actually, it comes in a plastic sleeve where it was a short-lived media like a VHS. There's VHS, there's Laserdisc. CED was sort of in the middle in this early to mid 80s. And my dad got a bunch of CED players and all the CEDs because everyone stopped selling them. So he got them super cheap. We just had stacks of them. So we watched all the old CED of like Disney and all that stuff.
Wow, no, I never even heard. I remember Laserdisc. Yeah. We had one at school, but I don't.
Right. Well, it was Laserdisc's less popular cousin.
Like the Betamax to VCR.
Oh, yeah. But people still know what Betamax is. No one knows what a CED is. And the worst part about it was you had to, like, every 45 minutes, you had to flip it. because there was like part of the movie on one side and on the other
Like
side
a
was
vinyl record.
yeah, but like you had to put in the case and go bzzz, and then to put the thing back in, you take it out, then you flip it, and then spit the case back out.
What was the quality compared to a VCR tape? Like, was the quality better?
About the same.
So there was really just no benefit to it.
No, it's bad. It's really bad. I see them every once in a while. There's zero collector's value.
Yeah.
Like they're not even like, look at this wild
Nobody's
thing.
got nostalgia about them.
Yeah, because they were around for 6 months, and my dad got them all.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I watched Star Wars and Indiana Jones and everything, was the CED.
Wow.
I don't even know what that stands for. Okay, moving on. What are we even talking about? Pokemon. Okay,
Pokemon.
anyway. Yeah.
Amish Pokemon.
Yeah. Amish Pokemon probably had CEDs. On that one. I'm just skipping them because if I don't have something good to say, never mind. This one's bleak. What do you think your last words will be?
Oh, man. No.
So it's a violent death. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. I hope mine's like, good night, wife. And then I die in my sleep.
I have been thinking, just, everybody gets morbid. And I have been thinking about like what I want to happen after I die.
Yeah.
Because I did see this article about how fat people, it's harder to cremate fat people.
Huh.
And I just kind of want to be a burden on people one last time. So I want to be cremated because they say when you try to cremate a fat person like at the same temperature you would a normal sized person, like the fat liquefies and then starts running over and it literally goes down to like the cremation oven and like literally gunks up the works. So they have to cremate fat people at a lower temperature for longer. And that's just like kind of, I think, a peaceful thing for me to know that I'll just go out like a properly cooked brisket, just low and slow.
Yeah. One more time, low and slow. That's right. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that does seem comforting, doesn't it? Yeah. I get it's just a really hot sauna for a while. You know what I mean? That sounds nice.
Just take your time.
You ever get tempted to like if I know I'm going to die, I'd love to say something like the treasure, it's underneath, and then die. That'd be fun, because then people would be looking underneath stuff, and it probably needs cleaning if it's underneath stuff. So I probably did a good job.
Or just time it just right. Like, please let everyone know.
Yeah,
and then just yeah.
I'd love
cliffhanger.
Yeah. I'd love to confess some crimes. I'd love to, like crimes I didn't do, obviously. Like crimes I couldn't possibly have done. You know what I mean? Like I was Jack the Ripper, and I was like, "What?" that was the late 1800s. I'm like, I'm older than I look. Like I'm actually in my 40s. So,
nice.
Yeah, those are some good ones.
Death.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah. That was a good one. We should have, there's plenty of death ones in here.
Good.
A lot of stuff about, because I'll write these in the morning, a lot of stuff about what I fear. So it's mostly death in the ocean. Because those are the two things that really freak me out.
Are you better by nighttime?
No, not really.
So the morning has nothing to do with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. Just mostly the ocean. Okay, here's the other one. You're getting. I've been trying to make this podcast less serious, because some episodes
they've been philosophical.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, that was not my intent. And all of a sudden, I got into all these conversations about stuff I hardly know about, just because I was like, I'm gonna throw like a wrench in the works and make it real silly by being too serious. And it's like, that became all serious. So that's randomized. But so this one's turning out pretty unserious.
Okay.
But best Star Wars movie.
Once again, Amish sort of upbringing.
Okay.
My mom did take me when they did the re-release of them.
Oh yeah.
In the theaters, like in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
special editions.
Yeah. So I've watched them all. I will say I'm not gonna say they're the best, but I thought the newest ones.
I like the new ones.
Weren't bad. Like I know a lot of people crapped on some of them, but and I honestly, when I watched them all like 5 or 6 years ago, I watched them all. So I went like 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, and then the newest ones. And honestly, this will get me. So many people are gonna hate, but like I didn't think the like 1, 2, and 3 were as bad as everybody made them out to be.
Oh yeah,
I think it's a lot of nostalgia. Like if you watch movies back in the 70s or 80s and you grew up loving them, and then like you love like the things you love about them, you love, and the things that kind of fall short, you just like it's fine, you know. But then like you try to introduce like something new into that universe,
right? You
don't get that same leeway.
Yeah.
And like last night I was just flipping through, and it's been forever since I watched the Ghostbuster movies.
Yeah.
And I had like 10, 15 minutes, and like I was just flipping through. It's like the last 10 minutes of Ghostbusters 2.
Hell yeah.
And that is one of the dorkiest endings. Like I love Ghostbusters. Like Bill Murray is like so funny. Like everything's so funny. I'm not saying the movie's bad, but like the ending of it is like, we need to get into the Statue of Liberty so we can get positive feelings back into the city and defeat evil with good spirits.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Within like 3 minutes of hatching this plan, they're like just the Statue of Liberty is just like crossing the ocean and stuff.
Right.
And they just happen to have like all these speakers to like put in there and just enough ooze to like animate this statue.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have a whole river of ooze underneath the city.
And it's, but they had like in their jetpacks, you know, and they just were spraying it in there.
Right.
And then like, and this is just like, and they're playing like feel good music. Like everybody's singing, like, so it's like you had to get the spirits up to like, to beat evil and everything. That's like, if that didn't exist, Ghostbusters 2 never existed then. And then they made that Ghostbusters 2 now, people will mercilessly just like rip on it. It's like, that is the dorkiest ending.
I get that. So your major qualm is that you think there's too much ooze in those backpacks, an unrealistic amount of ooze in backpacks.
There's only so much volume of ooze you can fit into a backpack. I mean, how much more could you actually? And they just coated like the entire inside of the Statue of Liberty in ooze. Yeah. 2 backpacks.
Well, I would like to remind you that this is a movie about busting ghosts.
Busting makes me feel good. So, like, I want to like it.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the movies.
Right.
Like, those are good movies. Like, everything you brought so far, I'm like, yeah. Like, no. I'm not a cynical person. I'm just saying, like, I was just relating that back to Star Wars. Like, I think, like, if those movies would have came out back, that same storylines would have came back out at the same time back in the 80s and stuff.
Right.
I don't think they would have got ripped on as near as much.
I mean, I know you're right. I mean, because nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yes.
Because there's things I watch now and go, isn't it the best? I was like, no, it just made you feel like you were 13 again. And, you know, when you're in your 40s, that's a hell of a drug. You know what I mean? And when people re-release things, like when they have the new Star Wars, like 1, 2, or 3, or the special editions or whatever, it won't make you feel like the old ones because you're not in front of the television when you're 13 eating a Bigfoot pizza from Pizza Hut, drinking Crystal Pepsi.
And you've also seen, the Phantom Menace, like 87 times, so like you know every part of it, so you get to like, but this like then you go watch this new one and you're experiencing the whole thing start to finish, like kind of process this whole, digest the whole thing at once. And I think people get a little too, I'm not trying to discount the older films, I'm just saying like people like to rip on like newer stuff.
Right. But if you talk to like Gen Zer or someone who was the right age when those episode 1, 2, and 3 came out, they speak to them with the same reverence as people my age speak to the original trilogy. And it's like, oh yeah, these are kids' movies, you know, and they're for kids. And they did the same job with that generation as the ones that did with my generation.
They very much, and that's like I love the Dune movies because the ones,
the new ones or the old
ones.
Okay,
because like I said, I was talking to somebody. It's like I feel like these are like Star Wars made for adults.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, made for kids. Like, and not to rip it. It's like that's a great thing where you can make a movie that is very entertaining to children and also very entertaining to adults. That's an impressive thing to do. That's a great thing to do. But like I heard that like in the one where it's got all the Ewoks, like that was supposed to be a planet of Wookiees.
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, if we made them a lot smaller, it'd be easier to sell toys.
Right.
And so they want to be able to sell these. It's like, those things are so annoying. That movie.
Really? I like it. Yeah.
So I didn't see those until I was like,
right.
I saw them once, but I didn't see them until like I was in my late 30s. And I was like, yeah, this is definitely like a thing for kids, like just little stuffed teddy bears, like, like, so
it would be weirder if you were really into Ewoks in your late 30s. Yeah. Like a 40-year-old walking out there going, hell yeah, dude, Ewoks, bro. That'd be a little bit.
Just dropping the group chat. It's like, y'all know about Ewoks?
Yeah, dude. Like, Johnson, your work performance has fallen off a cliff since you've heard about Ewoks. No, it makes sense. Yeah. Ewoks are for children. Yeah. Yeah. And there's people that are like my age or older that are really into Star Wars. Cool. Yeah. You should be into something. You know what I mean? Get a hobby.
I just talked, endlessly to just absolute bore of everybody's eyes about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like yeah, everybody needs something. Like
right.
Like if you have nothing to obsess over and like have fun with, then you're just like watching CNN or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, the world's like, you have to have some of that and you have to have some other stuff.
We have to look away from the abyss every once in a while.
Yes.
I can go wild with Ghostbusters. I can go wild with Mandy, the Nicolas Cage movie. Like there's some movies I can go absolutely wild for. And just because it's like, Star Wars, just because it was like, something that was for younger people or whatever, it doesn't mean it's not worthwhile because man, I can go crazy about Ghostbusters, which is a kid's movies too. Yeah. But it's fun and I watch it and I experience joy and that's all there is to it.
And that's the whole point. Like that's the whole point of being alive. Like have fun and experience joy. So there's so much stuff that like other people like or the mass people like that like I don't like, but I've gone from like in my early 20s be like, oh, those people are stupid, that sucks, to like that's not for me.
Well,
I'm glad they're enjoying it, like,
right?
And then I've got my stuff I enjoy.
Well, that's growing up. Because I think that when you're in your early 20s or when you're in your teens or early 20s or whatever, you are really trying to find who you are hard and fast as an identity. And so you're putting up these really large walls about what you accept and what you don't accept. So you can partition it off to tell yourself exactly who you are. And then the older you get, like those partitions start to like fall because you're like, I want to be a larger person that fits in this small fenced off part. I would hope. Because if you don't grow, if you're still the same person as you were when you were 18 years old, God help you, man, because you're in bad shape.
Yeah. I know some of those people.
Yeah. Yeah. They're the people that you're like, oh yeah, I grew up with them, and there's the same person. And I'm sorry. I hope you get better. I hope you get into model kits or something. Something fun. All right. That's for someone who's from Omaha.
Okay. I'm not from Omaha.
Yeah, you're not from Omaha, so I can't answer that question. But this is a local show. This is meant to like have Omaha artists and people from the community.
I love Omaha.
Yeah, it's the best.
This will be my third time being here, and it's like the other two have been amazing. So,
well, good.
If tonight's not, I'm gonna be very judgmental of the crowd. Be like,
well,
the other two times, this was an amazing place.
I hope there's a crowd. You just never know because it's been so nice today and everything. You just never. This isn't a good podcast. This is a good conversation to have in the back of the bar when I'm like, why the hell is everyone? All right. All right. This is one of my favorite questions I've written. Why would anyone go all the way to Europe to see Big Ben? Wouldn't you hit snooze on that big clock, huh? What's the deal? I don't need to see a big clock. I never have a good experience with the clocks anyway. What's the deal with that clock?
Do you really want me to answer? Or do you just need to get that out of your system?
I can move on. Try to take creative liberties with questions. I just ask questions.
Is there any point in the podcast I can tell you to stop it?
No. All right. I promise more about death, and here we go.
Yes.
Will science ever enable us to avoid death?
If you're rich enough,
Right.
yeah.
Right. And I think it depends on how we would define death. If it would be death of the body or death of the mind.
Yeah. I think death of the body's probably gonna be inevitable for a long time, but yeah,
Right.
they might be able to keep your mind going in some sort of cyborg thing. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could all become RoboCops.
But then at some point, don't you have to like say, okay, no more new people then?
Right. I mean,
I mean, like, because I don't know, I've not gone anywhere in the last 10 years to be like, you know what? There's not enough people.
Yeah.
We need more people.
Yeah.
Like, the people that are always like, like, oh, we've got to pick up our, growth rate or our birth rates in America because we're falling behind and stuff. And I'm like, falling behind on what? Can we just?
Are you crazy? Yeah.
Like, the Earth was in such perfect harmony before humans. Like we're not good for this place.
Right.
There doesn't need to be more of us. So yeah, it's a good thing going right now. Where it's like there's some new ones and then some old ones that go away, and that's just kind of the natural order of things. But yeah,
Right.
if you're gonna start making where people don't die, then we need to start making sure people aren't born.
It's going to be a lot of
Way
room
too many people.
that we're going to need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah. I mean, yeah, I hope that I get my mind doesn't die, because I mean, I don't care about my body, obviously. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I treat mine as a temple,
Yeah.
as you can see.
Yeah. Temple of the Dog. The Soundgarden. Okay. I don't even know if that was
Bone.
yeah. I don't even know if that was a joke. I'm just now it's free association. All right. Is there a moment in your life that you remember vividly for absolutely no reason?
I do. I can remember, and I swear to God, this is true. I've told people this before, and they don't believe me. I can remember getting my diaper changed, like laying on my back.
Yeah.
In front of the patio door, and the house I grew up in, and I can remember. I had a quarter in my hand, and I put the quarter in my mouth and choked on it, and then like I had my mom like forced me to throw up or something, and I can in my mind I can still picture that.
And how recent was this?
I'd say 14.
I had to. That's such an easy joke. No, you had to be what, less than one?
Yeah, 1.5 or so. It may not be possible, but I swear that memory is in my brain.
Sure.
I can remember.
Right.
Like the patio door and everything. So I don't know.
That's what earliest memory, I would assume.
I would think so. Yeah.
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 Yeah. 'Cause sometimes I just get flashes to like parts of my life. I'll go, what a useless flash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if there's like you've seen Dead Zone with Christopher Walken, the Stephen King movie?
I haven't.
Where he just like gets like he touches people and he sees the future. Like he sees like, something good or bad, but he sees the future. Like it would be just funny. Like, he sees important things. Well, what if he just sees crap? Like, someone's going to not like their eggs at Waffle House. It's like, who cares? But I feel like that, but with my past, you know what I mean? Like, I just like, oh yeah, I remember watching a guy build a skate park out of cardboard once. And that's not a good memory.
Yeah. I can remember being like, I don't know, probably 7, and we had a 3-wheeler that like if you did it right, you could pop a wheelie on it. It's like I showed my buddy how to pop a wheelie, and he was like obsessed with it. He just like popping wheelies, and I got tired of just watching him, so I went inside and put a little personal pan pizza deal in the microwave, and I was just like eating a pizza, and my dad came in. It's like, your friend's outside playing. Why are you in here eating? It's like, oh, it was pizza time.
Yeah.
So that's when it just popped in my head for whatever reason.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he gets wheelies. I get a pizza. How about that?
Pretty sweet.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I don't have memories as a kid, as a baby. My earliest memory, I was dressed as a duck.
No more context.
Yeah. It was Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was really afraid. Oh, this is a good one. What has the best movie soundtrack? Is there a soundtrack that you go back to?
I mean, as far as like adding to the movie, the Dune.
Okay.
The Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the way they did that. I actually watched a little documentary about that. So I mean, that like totally sets the mood and everything. But like as far as like listening on its own, I got real big into the Adult Swim show, Metalocalypse.
Right.
Love Metalocalypse.
Okay.
And they had like an hour long clock opera or whatever, but it was they did a musical, which I hate musicals, but it was like it's the greatest. Like I love it so much. It's like I could put that like if I'm getting really sleepy, I can put that on. And it's just like up and down, and it's incredible. Brendan Small's amazing.
Are you a metal fan otherwise?
Somewhat. I mean, I don't dislike it, but it's like one thing I listen to out of several things. But but I think that this is me talking out my ass, I'm sure, but I think they're like one of the best-selling metal bands of all time.
I mean, yeah, I would. That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's not even a real thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it has. Cartoons have more of a mass appeal than most metal.
Yeah, but that's where the brilliance of that is because he's the one making all that music, and then he's the one animating it. So like when like the hands going up and the guitar neck and stuff, like he's actually doing what he played and animating it and stuff. Cool. So, but yeah, that's for me like just putting something on and listening to it like on a drive. That's from anything. So
okay, very cool. Yeah. I would have to go with Rushmore, Inside the Llewyn Davis, Crazy Heart, some real good compilation ones.
Yeah. That was great. Like that's the one thing that kind of died with the death of like CDs and stuff, like buying soundtracks from movies.
Right. Yep.
Like I can remember being like 14 or whatever when like Queen of the Damned came out.
Oh yeah. And the massive cultural impact of Queen of the Damned.
But
starring Aaliyah.
I think I may have thought of it just because you do kind of have a little bit of a Jonathan Davis vibe going right now.
Okay.
Yeah, he made that, like he produced that or whatever. So it was all the new metal bands of the late '90s and stuff, so Korn and Disturbed and all that. And so I remember buying. I remember buying soundtracks like that. You used to. Like I bought the American Pie one and I didn't even like it. Like I don't know why I bought it, but it's like everybody's buying this and so there's only like 2 or 3 songs in there I liked, but when I was growing up, the Crow soundtrack was a huge deal, and it still slaps. Yeah. All right, there's like Nine Inch Nails, The Cure, Stone Temple Pilots, Jesus and Mary Chain, like some real good bands. The first tape I ever bought, because I got into music before there were CDs, so I was listening to tapes, which is, God, every day I found new ways to be ancient, but the Conehead soundtrack. Yes.
Yeah, with the
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
The best Red Hot Chili Pepper song.
And that was never on any of their other albums, was it?
No, but I mean the best Red Hot Chili
Squeeze.
Yeah. That's the best Red Hot Chili Pepper song is not a high bar to go over, but I like that song still. It's like that and Under the Bridge.
The most interesting fact about that song is it came out well before Anthony Kiedis' current girlfriend was born.
Whoa. So. Okay. Yeah. Well.
If you want Red Hot Chili Peppers run for you, like it's been a run for me.
I've never really been a huge fan. Actually, I got in trouble for having Red Hot Chili Peppers tape. When I was a young kid, my mom looked at it, read the lyrics, and goes, "What is this filth?" Like, it's Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I got in trouble for Gangster's Paradise.
The Coolio?
So it's that soundtrack, the Dangerous Minds.
Yeah.
That's So
well, another soundtrack, Dangerous Minds, and that Stevie Wonder wrote that, the hook on that.
Nice.
Yeah, and he told Coolio he couldn't use it unless he didn't swear in the song.
Okay, nice.
So he didn't swear in that song.
Yeah, I shouldn't say I got in trouble. I just remember like that was the one that was like, why are you listening to a song about gangsters?
Right.
Right. Yeah. So
There's a lot of good soundtracks back then.
yeah. Everything now though is shit.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Because we're not young anymore.
right? There'll never be another Batman Returns soundtrack. No more.
They don't know how to do it.
Yeah, no one will ever be kissed by a rose ever again.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's good. I love soundtracks.
Yeah. Blues Traveler on Kingpin.
Oh yeah. Oh man, the Addams Family with MC Hammer. You don't get a lot of those tie-ins anymore.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm sure there's a really good reason why, because you think with because you could usually have that release a music video on YouTube and clip it up for TikTok, and you could have this multi platform thing for that that would advertise the movies on social media with this content that doesn't seem forced. You think that people would do that, but they don't. I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't make music or movies. Who cares? All right. If the robots take over, give me a silver lining.
Oh, man. You're really testing out my narcissism or my cynicism here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I've never seen Wall-E, but I kind of know the concept of it, and I've seen parts of it in other pop culture stuff. But at least the people seem happy.
Yeah,
they're fat and happy.
Yeah, it's not the worst way. Not the worst.
So kind of.
Yeah, I've seen The Road. That seems worse than Wall-E. You know what I mean? I'm watching TV on a flying chair or cannibalism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
yeah, and I mean, at least in the Matrix, when he's plugged into the goo pod and stuff, I mean, at least should be well rested.
Yeah. I think someone had a tweet where it's I'm sort of looking forward to the goo pod. Goo pod would not be too bad. Give me my goo pod.
I mean, I don't want to get too out in front of stuff, but I could hook you up with a goo pod. If you don't want to wait on the machines, I could get you into a good goo pod right now, man. I got a goo pod guy.
Yeah. Goo pods are real, but not backpacks full of ooze. A lot of goos and ooze in this episode. Real slimy episode. I could do it. Yeah, if the robots take over, it's their problem now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Deal with it.
I don't have to worry about parking. This is good. Okay, moving on. Death and ooze and slime. All right. What genre of music is due to break out, a la 90s in the swing craze?
Oh, man. I'm so far, I haven't progressed on music since 2008, so I have no idea what's going on. I think maybe just 90s music overall just coming back.
The grunge?
Maybe.
Well, I know that
I'd like to see that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I know that a lot of the the new metal is big.
Yeah.
Amongst the youths.
NU metal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Korn.
Okay.
And Deftones. And stuff like that. I like Deftones, but they were that same sort of genre at the time. That's back in a big way. Alice in Chains is big. Mm-hmm. The kids love the Alice in Chains.
I haven't heard this about the kids.
Yeah, I only know it because of younger comedians.
Okay,
you know what I mean. And
yeah.
I just like Alice in Chains. I'm not really, but that's weird that you do. You know?
Well, that's Kids in a Nutshell. Alice in Chains song. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, you don't like.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't like Alice in Chains,
yeah.
so.
I get it. That's an obtuse Alice in Chains reference, right? Because there's you could have went with Facelift or Dirt or Rooster, and then Nutshell, Jar of Flies.
How would I work Jar of Flies into a pun? I'll listen to your reasoning on the other ones, but kids today, they love their jars of flies.
Yeah, they do. They love Jar of Flies. They love Lane Staley. Maybe this is something I completely made up. I have
Maybe
no
just
idea.
heroin's coming back.
Oh boy, if this wasn't a family show. Oh, it's back, but in a different way. Oh boy. All right. Let's see what this one is. It's just a piece of paper. That's the first time this happened, which is a surprise to me.
It's very philosophical still of you.
Yeah, right? Yeah. God, I don't want to do that one. I know that go real quick, and I'm not in the mood. All right. What do you think the lighting is like in here? What do you think of the lighting in here? It's nice, right?
It's very professional.
Yeah, it's good.
It's very good.
Good job, Jocelyn.
Yeah,
It's good.
Yeah.
That was that question. Yeah, we got the two things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got backdrop lighting.
What piece of media do you think really helped you as a human being?
Piece of media.
Yeah. An album, a movie, a television show, a book.
I would just say like a series. When we did finally get satellite when I was like 15, the first thing I started watching was like all the Comedy Central presents.
Okay.
Like every Friday night, that was my thing. So that definitely was like because there was no, where I grew up, there was no stand-up comedy. Like I did not go to my first live show until I was 30. So my formative years of like becoming obsessed with stand-up comedy and stuff was definitely all the Comedy Central presents.
Does one stick out to you?
I mean, it was a lot later on, but like, Kyle Kinane, the first one he did on there.
What is this first one called?
Is it Whiskey?
Is it? I don't think it's Whiskey. Death of the Party.
Death of the Party. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember which ones I watched on there, but it was the one where he talked about Shire beers. I remember that, and then probably before that, Mitch Hedberg. That's where I got exposed to Mitch Hedberg, and the special he did on there that they played constantly. So I watched it a million times. They played that one on reruns all the time. He had the joke about like Smacky the Frog and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
But so yeah, that was probably the biggest thing for me. So
yeah. Well,
I didn't get a lot of media growing up, but
Comedy Central used to be so stand-up heavy.
Yeah.
It used to be like not only the presents, but they also had like stand-up and the A-list.
Well, and it's the thing that everybody is like wanting on their platform.
Right.
Like, because to produce like an hour comedy is so much cheaper than producing an hour of a television show,
Yeah.
And so like, that's why Netflix and all them want, and it's super popular. It's like Comedy Central had it, and then they just kind of abandoned it. But it's like, to me, my two favorite specials that I've ever seen, or my favorite specials are Kyle Kinane's Loose in Chicago and Roy Wood's Father Figure. And those were both on Comedy Central. Loose in Chicago, they played a little bit, like on reruns and stuff. But like Father Figure, I caught it on DVR the first time, and like I never saw it back on there. And it's, to me, the most well-written stand-up comedy special of all time. Roy Wood Jr. is absolutely genius.
Yes.
It was an incredible, and like they just aired it once and then just shelved it. And then like 10 years later or not 10 years, I guess 7-8 years later, start playing some clips of it every now and then, like on their YouTube and stuff.
Right.
But it's like, they had it, and they just like, they didn't really promote, and they didn't, play them, like they used to. It was just play, that Mitch Hedberg special would be on all the time, but then the ones that they still do, is like Puppet Guy, Jeff Dunham. Yeah, like still play his ad nauseum,
That might be the people who are still watching broadcast television.
So.
Or it's the folks that are into puppets.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not watching this channel if there's puppets on it. I've said that out loud a couple times. So you're saying that Comedy Central presents.
Yeah.
I think that's yeah. I mean, those are definitely a bunch.
It's had the biggest impact. Like as far as would not have been for the last 9 years doing stand-up comedy, I don't think, if I hadn't. So that's been the biggest thing that's changed the course of my life. So
Well, I think a good comedy special has the same effect as like a good record, where you just like re-listen to it and you find new things each time you do. And I can see that. And those are good. I agree with you on that. And Comedy Central back in the day used to be the best.
Oh man, it was they had so many good shows that they like ran for one season and just like gave up on. And
Detroiters.
Oh, man, I love it.
That's so good.
I mean, I've got it.
So good. What's a movie that feels like you've seen but you haven't seen it?
I already said Wall-E. Well, see, there's one like what's the David Bowie one?
Labyrinth?
Yeah, I've never seen that. But, people.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
We understand. Yeah, it's him dancing around and some crazy crap happens, and that's good enough.
Yeah, I never saw that. So
okay,
never saw any of the Harry Potters, but I feel like I know what's going on there.
I feel like I've seen those too, and I have not seen them.
Yeah.
I taught for a while, and I saw one in a class, and I guess I have one in class. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
This kid's all magical and crap. And then we're moving on, and then there's a wizard that killed his family, and then he's going to get revenge. Like we all
some guy
knows.
you don't say his name.
Right, he doesn't have a nose.
Yeah.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Who cares? Who cares about magic? You know what I mean? Who cares about wizards besides the guy with the wizard tattooed on his
Once
arm?
again, it wasn't made when we were young, so
Exactly. Okay. Yeah, we're going to do one more question.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll do plugs. But we got one more question, and then we're out of here. I was told to skip more questions. Okay. What cleaning product seems like it would taste good, but it doesn't?
Orange Glow?
Orange? Yeah, it probably tastes like oranges, right?
It smells like oranges.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think.
Yeah. Doesn't Windex look good?
It does. I mean, it's like refreshing.
Right.
Like on a hot day.
I bet it would be.
A nice tall glass of Windex.
Yeah. Or washer fluid.
Yeah. I mean, that's not cleaning
Over
product.
some small crushed ice.
Yeah.
I
was going to say antifreeze, but that's not cleaning. But antifreeze is sweet, so that's why you have to keep it away from like pets and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It actually.
Yeah. It's nice and green and it smells good. It's like Ecto Cooler.
Make some good ooze out of it.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. What if antifreeze was made out of ghosts? That's how it keeps your car cool. Just by scaring it. Okay, I don't know where I'm going with this.
They do have a chilling effect. So,
All right. Yeah. That's good. All right. What else?
I'm trying to get you to tell me to stop it. You haven't told me to stop it one time.
Oh, yeah.
You just kept letting this go.
I will.
I mean, I'm untethered right now. And so this is on him. Like, I don't want to do these.
I'm relinquishing control of this podcast. This is everyone's podcast now, not just mine. I feel like this podcast has been too, autocratic. Now it's time to open it up to the people.
Put it in the hands of the people.
Yeah. And speaking of which,
good things always happen.
Yeah,
always.
This is not Populist podcast. If you want to have one of your questions read on here, go to stopitpod.com and submit a question. Also, that's where all the episodes are. Like, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. That'd be cool as hell. All right, please do that. And Stetson, how can people find you on the internet?
They can just type my name into the internet.
Okay.
So just type in Stetson Banks, and I've got a website, and it's got my social media. I've literally trying to get past my cynicism and everything. As 9 years in the comedy, I'm like, fine, I'll start posting some clips.
Yeah.
So I think I've got 12 YouTube subscribers. So if you want to be lucky number 13, right there.
Yeah, I think people should start following me on Letterboxd.
Yeah,
that's the best one.
Yeah.
Okay, Stetson, now you can stop it. And you can stop it too, watching, listening, whatever you're doing. Thank you for joining us. You have a good night.